President Joe Biden drops a nightmare on his own party. Tucker Carlson goes to Russia to prevent war between America and the Russian Federation Army, plus so much more. After pardoning Hunter Biden, reports now indicate that Joe Biden will likely pardon Trump's biggest enemies as a slap in the new president's face. According to Politico News, those under consideration are Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, and worst of all, Dr. Anthony Fauci. In regards to why, Politico seemed to indicate that Biden believes Trump is out for revenge and wants to protect these Democrats. Now, the publication stated, Trump has previously said Cheney should go to jail along with the rest of the unselect committee. Additionally, NBC News previously provided evidence of this by highlighting how Trump posted an AI-generated photo showcasing Fauci, Biden, Pelosi, and Harris in orange jail outfits with the caption, "How to actually fix the system." Now, in my opinion, it seems very likely that either Trump or those he has appointed will go after these names. In fact, I would love for them to go after these names, and I bet you would too. In fact, drop it down below. Let me know if you would like to see these people investigated. But let's not forget, Trump appointed former federal prosecutor Kash Patel as the new FBI director. And from everything I'm reading over on X, he will get the votes from the Republicans and become the next FBI director. Excuse me. This nomination has Biden and the DC elites panicking. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see a whole wave of pardons handed out like candy just before Joe Biden exits Washington, D.C. While the recent pardon will save the president's son from legal consequences, Hunter Biden can no longer hide behind the Fifth Amendment. This has been verified by lawyer Alan Dershowitz on an interview I did a few days ago. In a post on X, Representative Andy Biggs of Arizona stated, "Thanks to his father's pardon, Hunter Biden has waived his Fifth Amendment protections. I look forward to bringing Hunter back into the House Judiciary Committee under oath to get some real answers from him. We can run from the truth, but we can't hide forever. See you soon, Hunter." Now, the Fifth Amendment gives you the right to not incriminate yourself. Since Hunter Biden has been pardoned, he can no longer be charged with any crimes. So in basic terms, he no longer has any shield that would allow him to remain silent. He must speak the truth or he's committed a new crime which isn't covered under daddy's protection. Now, if he does remain silent after receiving a subpoena, he can be held in contempt of court and be charged with a new crime. If he lies, he can be held in contempt and charged with a new crime. I believe Joe Biden's blessing is going to end up being a curse for the Biden family. The hunter now becomes the hunted, as Hunter is already on one congressman's radar to be the useful idiot Republicans need to take down Joe Biden after he leaves office. You cannot steal or sell out America to the tune of $27 million and expect to get away with it, Joe. Now, after January 20th, Donald Trump is ready to take action as he prepares to return to the White House Oval Office. Stephen Miller, his nominee for Deputy Chief of Staff of Policy, outlined what we can expect from the new administration in the first 100 days. According to Stephen Miller, we'll see an immediate push for an energy boom to make American energy independent and bring down costs for families. Trump also plans to focus on restoring peace globally, especially in the Middle East and between Russia and Ukraine. Tensions are only getting worse. We need a peace-seeking president immediately. Miller also made it clear that draining the swamp will be priority from day one. This means replacing ineffective or disloyal officials with people who care about the American worker and the future of the U.S. economy. Now, according to Stephen Miller, Trump is ready to make big changes quickly to rebuild the U.S. economy, strengthen national security, and refocus the government on the needs of everyday Americans. In addition to this, Speaker Mike Johnson has revealed another significant step Trump intends to take. In a new post on X by Benny Johnson, he stated, Speaker Johnson just announced that one of the first major actions President Trump and Congress will implement is requiring federal employees to return to in-person work. This new requirement will likely result in many people quitting, which will make the job of Doge that much easier. What a great way to clean up the swamp than making people actually work and be accountable. They'll just fire themselves, right? However, Biden and his cronies are trying to pass a new law that would make it nearly impossible to fire from home workers of the federal government. Now, Biden is determined to keep the swamp in place because the swamp holds so many of his secrets. You drain the swamp, suddenly his skeletons get exposed. Now, after Amazon's owner, Jeff Bezos, declined to endorse VP Kamala Harris, he now seems to be warming up to Donald Trump. In a recent interview with the New York Times, Jeff Bezos claimed to be very optimistic about Trump's return. Jeff Bezos stated, he seems to have a lot of energy around reducing regulation, and from my point of view, if I can help him do that, I'm going to help him because we do have too many regulations in this country. If you look at the national debt and how gigantic it is in proportion to the GDP, these are real long-term problems. And the way to get out of them is to outgrow them. If you can do that, this is a very manageable problem. I'm very optimistic that President Trump is serious about the regulatory agenda, and I think he has a good chance of succeeding. Now, despite all the praise that Bezos was heaping on Trump, Bezos isn't fully in Donald Trump's corner just yet. When asked about Trump's hostile view of the mainstream media, Jeff Bezos stated, I'm going to try to talk to him about that idea. I don't think the press is the enemy. Let's go persuade him to do that. Well, I think Bezos is wrong. We all know the mainstream media did everything in their power to push propaganda on the American people about Donald Trump, about Republicans, about COVID, so many different things. However, Jeff Bezos refused to back Kamala Harris, then lost 250,000 paid readers, and still publicly announced he was going to hire conservative journalists in order to help make the Washington Post a balanced news outlet. Now, only time will tell, but this guy is putting his money where his mouth is. You don't say, I'm not backing you, lose money from 250,000 people every single month, and then continue with your plan to add conservative journalists unless you're serious. So again, only time will tell. Now, in recent findings, Kamala Harris's campaign has been exposed for donating to Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network organization, NANO. Now, MSNBC, his boss, admitted that they were completely unaware of Kamala Harris buying an interview through Al Sharpton for $500,000. If anything, that money should have gone through MSNBC, who pays Al Sharpton and all of his bills to run his crappy show. Now, they secretly gave him $250,000 payments. And in my opinion, this was an obvious way to buy an endorsement, to get a softball interview, and to look good to Black and Latino Americans. In the end, it did not work. Sharpton, though, claims that he is an honest, ethical, moral person, but then he hid $500,000 from MSNBC and then did the softball interview on their platform. Now, thankfully, the National Black Church Initiative is now demanding transparency and for Al Sharpton to be let go. This represents 28 million Black Americans that say, wait a minute, Al Sharpton doesn't represent us. We do want moral people. We do want ethical people. We do want honest people. So because of this, they feel like His journalistic integrity is dead and he should be removed. Now, Tucker Carlson's much anticipated interview with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is now live. During their time together, the two discussed how the United States could be the key to bringing an end to the war between Ukraine and Russia. They discussed the number of casualties and the impact of sanctions on Russia. Now, a moment that was relieving was when the foreign minister, Lavrov, publicly claimed he does not believe that Russia and the United States are officially at war. When asked how the war could end, Lavrov doubled down on Russia's stance that NATO cannot and must not be a part of this, leading many to believe that if Ukraine will commit to not being a member of NATO, that Russia will back down. Now, my guess is that Russia is going to want to retain the newly annexed land as a physical land barrier and buffer between Mother Russia and Ukraine. But again, only time will tell. Now, furthermore, Lavrov told Tucker Carlson, "We would like to have normal relations with all of our neighbors, of course. Putin has repeatedly expressed his respect for the American people, American history, and its achievements. We don't see any reason why Russia and the United States cannot cooperate for the sake of the universe." Now, the United States and Russia worked together to defeat Hitler and Nazism. They've also worked together on many energy projects. In fact, when we were buying oil from Russia, our gas prices were significantly cheaper. Now, I'm not defending Russia. I want this war to be over, but I do think that there is something there that we could learn from. All right, now, as you know, I've been working to rebuild my gut health. I want to tell you one of the ways I'm doing that. It's with Armra colostrum. If you've done any research on colostrum, you know it's incredible for you. In fact, there are close to 5,000 research papers on the health benefits of colostrum on the human body. Armra colostrum is bovine colostrum with 400 plus functional nutrients, and it comes in the most bioavailable form. The colostrum helps strengthen immunity and balance your gut microbiome. The standard American diet has jacked up our guts. This is a way to return it to a balanced state. Plus, it helps with your metabolism, energy, and recovery. One study showed colostrum has been shown to improve fitness endurance by 20% and decrease recovery time of intense exercise by 50%. Again, Armra colostrum has 400 plus functional nutrients. We've worked out a special offer for my audience. Receive 15% off for your first order. Go to tryarmra.com/Gardner or enter Gardner to get 15% off your first order. That's tryarmra.com/Gardner. I really like this product. And if you do any kind of research on colostrum, you're going to see why. All right, now, if you would, please give this video a like, hit that subscribe button. I want to hear from you. I try to read as many of your comments as I can. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day and stay amazing.